Just want to take a moment to sit and come together. Open our hearts. So for those of you who might not know, I am Koharlan, and I'm going to tell you a story for starters, give you a little background. So I feel like often I've lived two lives, like two different people entirely. I mean, the person that I used to be is so far removed from what I am now, but it's still part of my story, and it's important to see, where we've come from. And so the story goes, early in my life I was very involved in crime, and I was a very angry person. I didn't feel connected to people or the world around me at all, and I created all sorts of destructive habits and hurt myself in many ways and the people around me, my parents, my family and friends, and it was just a mess from one thing after the next because I was disconnected from my spirit. And I ended up just creating all sorts of chaos to the point to where I got myself in trouble with my family, in trouble with the world around me, and it ultimately led me to a point to where I was imprisoned before I was able to come to terms with the fact that I could no longer blame anyone else in my life for where I ended up. And that was a point that really changed for me. I started to make a turn, and I decided that there was going to be no more blaming, that I was going to start owning everything. And that's where the change really took place, although it was a transformation that took years and is still ongoing. So the first song I wanted to sing tonight is actually a song I wrote a few years back. And it just exemplifies that even throughout some of the trials and tribulations that I'd been through, even in that state back then, there was something inside of me that knew. I mean, you can hear it in the lyrics, that there was a message of hope to take us beyond our current situation and circumstances. And so, if your love goes away, it will come back to you, baby. Like summertime goes away, but it comes back to you. If your love goes away, it will come back to you, baby. Like summertime goes away, but it comes back to you. Never lose your faith, life is not a race. These are the words I place inside my heart each day. Life is hard some days, but you can never give up, never give in, no negativity to dwell in. But we're creating our own heaven or a hell inside, the whole world is inside you. Close your eyes, look deep, you will see there is no enemy. Inside, the whole world is inside you. Close your eyes, look deep, you will see there is no enemy. And if your love goes away, summertime goes away, but it comes back to you. If your love goes away, it will come back to you, baby. Like summertime goes away, but it comes back to you. Even when you're down, life will turn around. Listen to the deeper sound and resonate at hertz below 8. For you can live in the beta, live in the alpha, delta, or the theta. Just remember, in your life you're the creator. Inside, the whole world is inside you. Close your eyes, look deep. You will see there is no enemy. Inside, the whole world is inside you. Close your eyes, look deep. You will see there is no enemy. And if your love goes away, it will come back to you, baby. Like summertime goes away, but it comes back to you. If your love goes away, it will come back to you, baby. Like summertime goes away, but it comes back to you. No more seeing false, no war remains. Open, standing tall, oh, once again. If your love goes away, it will come back to you, baby. Like summertime goes away, but it comes back to you. If your love goes away, it will come back to you, baby. Like summertime goes away, but it comes back to you. Oh, oh, oh. Thank you. So as I started to come around, started to experience life without so much anger, stress, tension, and self-hatred, and as the windows to the soul started to get polished a little bit better so we could see the light, you know, certain things started to come up, certain desires, like I wanted to share that experience with others. I wanted to give back and do something that would give my life meaning and purpose, and really more importantly, that would help to free some of the people who were suffering the way that I did. You know, just through their own self-created misery and misunderstandings and self-judgments. And you know, I also wanted to feel like my life mattered, like it wasn't all for nothing, and it was actually something that I could give. And I ended up getting a lot of training and going back to school after I was released, and I tried to find avenues for that expression, for being able to offer my help and the lessons that I learned to others that could help change their lives. But I kept running into walls. It was like everywhere I tried to give, you know, I tried going back into institutions and prisons, but I had a felony, so you know they didn't want to open their doors up to me, even though my intentions were positive. So I went back to school, I got a degree, and I found that even there it was becoming difficult to find work that was meaningful. But before we go further, I think we'll do another song. And this one is about how we come to that power, how we come before that power humbly and offering ourselves as a vessel. This is called Releasement Day. We're now a sacred place. Bow down and receive your grace. Empty, letting go. No resistance anymore. Power rising up inside. That primal state. Go on and lead the way. I'm letting go to the unknown. I trust that love will lead me home, 'cause I above and I alone. Yes, I love you. Take a look inside, down where the cracks abide, below all your pain, underneath the hurt and shame. There's an altar of divinity where all the gods have knelt to pray. Pray for Releasement Day. Releasement Day. I'm letting go to the unknown. I trust that love will lead me home. 'Cause I above and I alone. Yes, I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, listening, and being part of this. Take a quick sip. So, let's see. So as I, let's see. I tried to take this message and this understanding various places, but again, I kept running into walls. But it was more than that too. I was exploring this new life without so much anger, and I discovered that you could have a pretty good time hanging out with people and not creating destruction and chaos in your life, and that there's a way to channel that energy into fun. And I went down that path for a while and got involved with a community of people who just loved fun, and they were all about creation and expressing and art and getting really high and all sorts of things. It was incredibly it was an exuberant time. But I also found that, in the end, it just ended up leading to more emptiness, because of the hundreds of friends that I had and everything. What I found was that when it really came down to it, those people were there for me when I was up, when I was partying and having a good time and playing music and everything else. But when I needed people in my corner, really needed support and help and understanding and direction. When I was going through hard times and going through change and trying to figure myself out, I didn't really have support from most of those people, and it started to make me look at who my true friends were and where the real strength in my life came from. So started to look deeper, and eventually had an epiphany. One day in meditation, I'm sitting there looking across from myself, an image of myself that appeared in my meditation, and then it seemed to split itself in half and go right down the middle and just break apart, and this light was shining from underneath. It came out, and I could see it shining in all directions, and I felt this incredible release. I felt my energy shining from within in all directions, and I felt it infinite and eternal and based in love, and I could hear a clear voice inside my head saying this, that I'm realizing it was even beyond words. The realization that came was that holding back my love, holding back my spirit, was the cause of all my trouble.